Hello everyone, so today we're going to be talking about arrays in C. Now arrays are used pretty much in every program. I'm sure like if you have any program on your computer that's compiled in C, other than like your operating system, you'll probably find at least like 100 like mentions of arrays in there. Like even if it's just like a really small program, the bare minimum is like 100 references to arrays because they're used for like everything. Now, an array is essentially like a grocery list. I think that's like the best way I can explain it. So, on your grocery list, you'll have something like eggs, cereal, uh, there we go, comma, diamonds, and pizza. Let's say that's your grocery list. Now, all of these things have food in common. So they're things that are edible, which means that because they all have something in common, they're all the same type, all of these things are food, we can put them in an array of type food. This serves as like another purpose. You can't mix data types in arrays, so you can't have an array that has integers and characters in it. It just won't work. So you have to make sure that they're all related. One of the greatest examples is the character array, which is an array of characters. Obviously, it's like a list. So if we wanted to define one, we would say char, or character, and then list brackets. Now, these brackets are really unique because they allow you to do something that is kind of optional. Well, you have to do it, but there's two different ways of doing it. And so, right now I'm just going to teach you one way, and later on, maybe in another video, this might be like a two-part video, lesson. I'll teach you the other one in the other video, or whenever we can get to it. So, in these brackets, you want to say how large the array is going to be. You have to say how many items the array will hold. So, what we do is we say, like for instance, 4, and then semicolon. And what this does, it says that this array will hold 4 different variables, or 4 different values. Now, what we have to do next is actually assign these values, which is something that is a bit difficult to do. How you would do that is by indexing it in the brackets. So, when we want to reference a part of an array, we say the name of the array, brackets, and then the number for like the index of what it is. So the first variable, we would say we want the first variable in here. However, there's a big difference in how computers count and how people count. You and I will count 1 to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. A computer will count to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, when we define the list, we didn't say count to 4, we said 4 values. Now, if you count from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3 is 4 values. So if they start at 0, the list index has to start at 0. So it doesn't start at 1. If we want to reference the first variable, we actually put a 0 in these brackets. If we want to reference the second, we put a 1. The third we put a 2, and the fourth we put a 3. And that's something that'll take time to get used to, so don't worry if you are like, what? This is so mind-blowing. Why does a computer think differently than me? That's kind of why people don't program a lot. They think differently. Anyways, now that we have that, we can assign values. So let's just say equals Q, because Q is the best letter in the alphabet, the English alphabet. So list 0 is equal to Q. Perfect. We've actually assigned a value successfully. This will work. We now have a value, and it's the first character in this array. Next, let's say the second is equal to U. The third is equal to I, and let's say the fourth, or value 3, is equal to Z. Now we have an array which is full of values. We can't assign anything else to it because it can only hold 4 values, and we've assigned all 4. So what's our next step? Well, let's actually use this. The reason character arrays are used a lot is because there's no string data type in C natively. So you have to use a character array and format it as a string when you use it. So how do we format this? Well, printf stands for print format, so we can use that to format this as a string. So let's say printf, they took a %s \n, comma, and let's say list, semicolon. Now if we run and compile this, it should just print that out for us with quiz instead of %s, because what %s does is it formats this as a string. So instead of reading this character by character, it just combines them all. And that's kind of a way how you can get around there not being a string type. You can just take a bunch of characters, put them together, and call it a string. If you don't know what a string is, it's just a bunch of characters. Like, if you come from Python or another high-level language, that's just something normal. There is no, like, defining a character array to make a string. There's just a string type. However, in things like C and C++, that doesn't exist. And even Java, a string type does not exist natively. They have a separate class to make an object that's a string. It doesn't actually exist by itself. It's not natively supported. And so this is kind of a concept that is more low level if you come from a higher level language. So it's just something nice to know. No string, you have to make it yourself. And this is just why character arrays are used so much, because you need a string in a lot of cases. So now we have all this. What do we do next? Well, let's experiment a little bit with this. What happens if we say 4 instead of 3? So what happens if we do something that's not in the array? When we compile and run this, it's going to say they took a qui. Okay, so what happened here? We said list object 4 is equal to z, but because that doesn't actually exist, we're referencing something in memory which is not connected. And that might be like, what's the memory? What? That's probably good if you're thinking that. If you're like, oh, I understand all of this, then I don't know why you're watching this video. An array is actually in memory. Now, this is something that gets into a whole nother topic, and it's why arrays and pointers are very complicated in C. You're manipulating memory. An array is a bunch of spaces of memory, like cells. So let's see if I can kind of type this. That's one cell, that's another cell, that's another cell, and that's another cell. Now each one of these is a cell of memory, so they can hold a value. Each one of these is just one value big, and it's actual memory. It's memory of a computer. It's not a variable. It's like, this is something that your processor will see. So this is where things start getting really low level. This isn't just like addition or anything. This is manipulating like your machine, if you really wanted to. So in here, you can put any value that you tell it that you're putting. In this case, we said characters. So each one of these holds a character, like Q, U, and so forth. Now, these 4 cells are assigned to list. Like, when we reference list, only these 4 cells are ever mentioned. What we did here was we referenced an additional cell. But this cell we never said is part of list. So even though we were allowed to say that it's there, when we use the list variable in this way right here, when we just say we want the whole list, it doesn't count this because we never said that this cell is actually part of list. It's there, and this is an actual cell of memory, but when it compiles, C will only ever consider these 4 cells. This one is never mentioned. Now, this compiler is kind of old, so I doubt that it ever like said that there was any type of warning. But you don't want to do that in a program because the memory will never be used. So it's like, it doesn't give you a syntax error, but it's never going to be used. So you don't want to ever index something greater than what the list can hold, and that leads to security errors as well, for like stack-based buffer overflows and things like that. Which, if you get into security, you'll find out a lot about those. So, anyways, that is the basics of an array. We can also, if we wanted to, make this an integer. So I'll show you that before I leave you. We could say int array, and then like instead of q we could say 1, 2, 5, and 6, and then we would just have to say don't format this as a string, format it as like a decimal. I'm pretty sure this will give us an error anyways because we're wrong button, because we're referencing the entire object. So no, it works. It just gives us really weird stuff, which again has to do with memory. So be careful with arrays and how you format them and how you use them, because you can get really weird stuff, like really weird stuff, if you don't like use it properly. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be making a part 2 to this part 1 array, and we'll go over some more things like how to assign the size without having to put like a number in the brackets and then assign each one. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, please press the like button. That helps a lot. If you want to leave a comment saying something, feel free to leave it in the comment section. If you have a question, again, comment section, or you can PM me. Either way is fine. And if you really like the video and you want to help support, then please favorite it. That helps tremendously. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be seeing you later.